What's up, guys? I think we're live. I'm trying something a little different here this morning so I can better monitor these comments. That way I'm not leaving anybody out or accidentally hiding people from the chat. But I'm incredibly excited to be here. Good to have you guys on. It's good to see people are waiting already. Oh man, Phil checking in from foggy North California? Is that what you said? Man, how's the weather up there? We just got a pretty big snowstorm, as a lot of you probably know, here in the east. So spent a lot of time this week shoveling and snow blowing snow. And I mean, I'm okay with it. It's not the end of the world. Some of you guys up in Michigan and further up north are definitely have it worse off. But let's get into it. Some of the things I wanted to talk about today. One is something I haven't touched on in a long time. And I wanted to bring this up. I've been thinking about bringing it up, but I haven't. And I wanted to talk about what my final plans were for the paint job. I know I did a video, I don't even remember how long ago, where I painted the Hot Wheels car, Matchbox car. What I thought I was going to paint this car, that's no longer the plan. And I really didn't think my decision would change, but it did. Hey Harvey, Rally Cat Garage, good to have you on here, buddy. It's hard for me to settle on paint jobs. I knew that this was going to be an issue, and honestly, the idea of even painting this car is tough for me to wrap my head around. It's just, I don't even know that I'm gonna, I've told people before, I don't know that I'm gonna enjoy driving it as much as what I enjoy coming out here and working on it. I'm sure, I mean, I'm gonna love it, but the time I have out here working on this thing, it's awesome. But I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna do, if you guys remember, the blue paint job with the black hood. I still wanna do kind of a low luster, faded look. What's up, Lunar? Good to have you on here, buddy. I still want to do kind of a lower luster paint job, I think, but I haven't even written that out completely. But like I said, I will paint Hot Wheels anytime I have an idea of what I want to do, and I'll let it sit on my desk at work. So I am constantly seeing it throughout the day. And as long as I have the opportunity to change it, I haven't painted it yet, that gives me time to think about, you know, how I like it. And it's always been tough for me to settle on things permanently. Hey Tim, good to have you on here, buddy. I think I told the story before. I was dead set on getting a tattoo whenever I turned 18, and I spent months designing it before I turned 18, and then I never got one because I couldn't settle on it, and that's a permanent thing. Not as, I mean, obviously a paint job isn't as permanent as a tattoo, but I really want it to be something special. I am leaning now towards, I might as well just tell you guys this, it's still in the Ford Mustang, you know, schemes, but I really love the silver jade color, and I'm thinking about, hey Barry, good to have you on here. I'm now leaning towards like a faded silver jade look, and I believe it's the 69s, they have the silver jade with like the black, not the entire hood, but there's a black inlay on the hood. So kind of bringing a later paint job back to the 65 is something I'm playing around with the stripe along the bottom. I just need something that has, I don't want just one solid paint color. I want something that has a lot of character to it. And what I'm thinking about doing is possibly maybe spraying it with the silver jade and then doing a dusting of like a darker mixture of that silver jade or a lighter mixture, probably a darker mixture, and then just sanding through in different areas to accentuate some of the top surfaces and stuff and just give it a little bit more of that character. But that could change. I really don't know that I'm gonna be settled on a paint job for sure until the week that I buy the paint. It's just hard to say. But, so I wanted to talk about that because I don't know how many of you guys remember me saying that I was gonna do that blue. And part of the reason I settled on that blue is because this car is blue, but blue is not my favorite color. I'm definitely more of a green guy. And that silver jade is kind of a happy compromise, and it's a really pretty color. I really, really like it. So that's where I'm leaning right now. I'm not even gonna bother painting a Hot Wheels though, because who knows, I could change my mind. What I'll probably do is mock something up in Photoshop, print it out and send it on my desk at work and stare at it. So that was everything I wanted to cover with the paint job. This week, where I'm at right now, you guys can see I have everything reassembled. You guys know that the rear trunk brace finally is welded back in, hallelujah. I have the driver's side trunk floor pan in place, it's not welded in yet. The wheelhouse is fitting incredibly well. One thing I did have to do with the wheelhouse, when they assemble these cars, a lot of you guys know that the wheelhouse on the passenger side sits, the seam at the top sits on the outside of some of the sheet metal that's on the interior. And on the driver's side, it sits, let me think about that. On the driver's side, it sits on the inside. On the passenger side, it sits on the outside, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I had to move the driver's side to the outside, the way it is on the passenger side. Yeah, I think that's correct. Just to help compensate for some of that damage that was done in here, because yeah, I got it straightened out some, but it was dented in significantly more than I realized. And I don't know how that sail panel didn't get messed up. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Sorry guys, I thought that this would work, where I could read some of these comments and have them up here, but my plan is not working, so I can't see the live chat. Can you guys see the live chat? Doug, I did accidentally hide your comments last time, but that one just popped up. Okay, so Barry's saying you guys can see the live chat. I'm struggling to see it. I'm just gonna scroll down through here for a quick second. Hey Randall, good to have you on here. Trip, good to see you. Mark, nice to have you on here. Let's see, all right. This idea did not work. Anyway, so to help compensate for that damage, I chose to push the wheelhouse, that upper seam, to the outside. And in doing that, I'm able to get the wheelhouse to sit where it should, which I'm fairly happy with. And the alignment with the quarter panel and the wheelhouse is fantastic. I don't think I'm gonna have to do any kind of modifying there. Where I still think I'm gonna have to do the modifying, and I briefly mentioned this, obviously I don't have to worry about the length anymore because the B-pillar was off and I was able to correct for that. But that lower bottom where the front of the quarter panel meets the rocker panel, it's still off. And you know, I had a few guys like Tim Bowman suggested, did I not dolly my flange up enough? Well, I dollied it up more this week and something is still off, and I really think I might have to do Barry's modification where I shorten that a little bit to get it to fit, because I've talked before about perfection versus progress, and having those lines match up is definitely something that, you know, I need to take care of. That'll drive me nuts. I keep seeing I had a sled riding casualty with my daughters. My one daughter, we bumped heads, her faces, my face bumped the back of her head. So I keep seeing that, in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, I agree. Barry, his knowledge, he's been there, done that. He's driven this road several times, and you can't go wrong following his advice. So I think I'm going to do that modification. I'm a lot more comfortable doing that, having a horizontal seam down there lower than doing a vertical seam to shorten that quarter panel. So I think that may be coming soon in one of the episodes. This is driving me nuts. I'm still trying everything I can to view the live chat, but your comments pop up briefly and I have to go and tap it, and you guys know how it works. You see my thumb in there and it's kind of awkward. But that's where I'm at with the quarter panel. We're really close. The light is at the end of the tunnel for sure. with this quarter panel install. And I cannot wait to work on the passenger side because it has like a little bump over there. I'm not going to have to deal with this collision damage, and it's going to be like paradise, I hope. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. It's going to be awesome. Something else I'm doing this week, in fact, I'm going to get the stuff today, and I wanted to ask you guys about this. I need to set up some kind of fume extractor for the garage. I don't do a whole, like you guys see all the more welding I do, and when you start hitting a lot of these plug welds, that puts off way more fumes than you realize. And it's just piling up in the garage, and I can feel it in my throat, and it's bad. I don't have, and then in the winter time, I seal up the garage door really well, keep things airtight, and it just doesn't bode well for good ventilation. So I was kind of curious what other people have done. For right now, I'm just gonna run ductwork into the attic and then out a vent in the garage, or out a vent out through the attic. And I don't know how well the suction is going to be, but it's going to be better than what I have right now. I'm probably going to get maybe like an 8-inch duct fin and run it into a 6-inch pipe that can come down, and then just have that foil pipe to sort of move it around from area to area that I need for now until I can figure out something better. I'm also going to do, I don't know how many of you guys have seen this, but there's a lot of guys that will buy those box fans, and yeah, a lot of you guys are dealing with the fumes. A lot of guys you'll see online, which I think is brilliant, they'll buy like a 20-inch box fan, and then they'll stick a duct filter behind it, and they'll just pump that in their garage to clean the air, filter the air. I'm definitely going to do that. So I'm going to get that set up, and I'm going to get something to deal with the fumes. So if anybody has any tips, leave it in the comments. That would be great. Like I said, I think I'm going to go get the stuff today because I don't really want to do any more welding without that. I mean, if it's getting to the point where it's messing with my sinuses and my throat, yeah, that's no good. So another thing I want to talk about is, I mentioned briefly before that I had a special video coming up. I wanted to do this when the channel officially turned a year, but I didn't quite have the time to do it, but I've been working on it. I'm going to be posting a video probably Monday of sort of the year's worth of progress that I've made in about 3 minutes worth of time. And it's just sort of meant to be more of a motivational, inspirational video, and just kind of a look back at what I've accomplished in a year. That'll go up hopefully tomorrow, and I'm asking you guys, you don't have to, because I'm not typically someone that shares stuff either, but if you feel like sharing it, please do. That would help. I kind of want to see that video do good things as far as getting out there, but anybody that shares it, that helps the YouTube algorithm push it. So I'm really excited about that video, and I want to see where it goes. But it was kind of cutting that video. I'm glad I did it because you don't realize when you're doing little tiny things week in and week out, you don't realize the kind of progress you make until you stop, go back and look at it. And it's fun. It's a fun video, and it's just kind of like a wow. You know, I am getting a lot of stuff done out here, and I've said before, this quarter panel, you know, phase of the project, I think this is the biggest hurdle of this entire project. I'm not saying that once we get over this it's going to be downhill, but we're definitely going to be riding kind of at the top of the hill until we hit the downhill, I think, because this was just, with the collision damage, a mighty task. I'm going to try to hop on here and check a few of the comments. So bear with me, guys. Hey, Jeremy. Good to have you on here, buddy. Doug, good to see you. My Torino, nice to have you on here. Let's see. Whole lot of house fans, yeah. I'm trying to come up with something that will at least help keep some of the heat in the garage as well. So I'm gonna do the system. The reason why I'm trying that 8-inch duct fan to a 6-inch pipe is to make it more focused. So I'm really what I'm trying to do is come up with something that I can sit over top of any area that I'm welding in the garage. We'll see how it works. I'm hoping it goes well, but we'll find out. Shouldn't be reasonably too expensive either. It's not like I'm buying 2x4s, which are absolutely outrageous now. Let's see. Oh, one more thing I wanted to touch on. I've been getting more people commenting and mentioning to me about a workbench. And my thing is with the workbench is growing up working at my dad's garage, we didn't have a workbench. And if we did use anything, we were at the kitchen table. And I can tell you right now, I mean, I have to ask for special permission to work. In fact, I think the only thing I did in the house so far for this project was way back when I boiled the carburetor in the pot in the house. I'm just, I don't have the biggest house, and to start bringing stuff into the kitchen table would be outrageous. But that's how I grew up working on stuff, regardless of whether it was car stuff. You did it right there on the garage floor, and that's kind of naturally what I go to. I do have a welding table that I intended to use as also kind of a small workbench, but I just don't do it. I'm working on getting there. I want to train myself for the sake of my back to do it, but until I get to that point, I'm probably just going to continue like a Neanderthal working on the ground. I don't know, it's what I gravitate to. It's like, it feels like my natural state. But I get a kick out of you guys bringing it up, because I'm sure it probably is, it seems awkward. Yeah, Randall, I do plan on putting good sound deadener in all this whenever I wrap it up. Tim, I thought about an exhaust fan with, well, that's a good idea out this window. The thing with the window, though, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. The prevailing winds come on the side with the window, so I think I'd be fighting a lot with a lot, especially in the winter. For some reason, my house sits right at the end of a big valley. In fact, it's called Big Valley in PA, and we get pummeled a lot with winds. So my thinking is run it up through an exhaust fan out that side of the house where the winds will help kind of suck everything out. So I've done a lot of thinking about this. We'll see. Like I said, I think I'm going to go today and pick up some supplies, and we'll see where I get with making it. Yeah, I think probably the duct through the ceiling idea is the best. Who knows? We'll see. I've seen a few other guys do it online. There's a lot of good videos out there. I don't know how much suction a duct fan will create, but it's going to be better than what I have now. Yeah, Barry, I was thinking about using magnets or something to sort of stick it to the car and hold it above. Even when I fire up, right now I'm using this kerosene heater here, and then I also have an electric heater. When you first light this thing, even though I'm burning the clean kerosene, it puts off a ton of smoke. And it just it kind of sets the stage for the night, and it's just, it's no good. But yeah, we'll see how I make out. After this video, I'm gonna go probably head in town and get the stuff. And I mean, I probably won't do a video on it, but I'll show you guys how it turns out. But I mean, that's everything I had for this live stream. I'm gonna run through the comments again one more time, just to make sure. I know I missed a lot of you guys. Sorry, my live chat idea did not work. I'm gonna have to look into that. Crave Hunter from Nebraska, good to have you in here. I have not been to Nebraska, actually. I've been to a lot of states, but not Nebraska. I haven't been to Arkansas either. But I do a lot of traveling for my job. And I've hit all the West Coast states and a lot of the Western states. That's not hard to do because they're so big. It's actually hitting all the little eastern states. It's a little tougher unless you do a road trip. Randall, you're in Utah. That is beautiful country out there. Love it out there. It's kind of neat driving through Utah, seeing where they had the Olympics out there and all this stuff just abandoned and left to rot. It's kind of weird. But Utah is a very pretty country. Whoa. I'm struggling here, guys. Can't get the comments going. Probably my favorite state, if I had to pick one out west, would be Colorado. It's basically, it's a lot like Pennsylvania, but just higher elevation. But again, as I get older, I'm starting to really hate the cold. And honestly, the idea of moving south and being out of the Rust Belt and having access to cars that aren't in the Rust Belt seems really, really, it's appealing to me for sure. And my wife is a huge Disney fanatic, so the closer that we can get to Florida, the better. Yeah, I know. I used to love the cold, and now I hate it, Barry. Tim, I think you're all the way up in Michigan. That's no fun. Up near all those lakes. Doug, I love how you keep on trying things and improving or improvising. You're a good natural speaker. If you are ever in Grand Rapids area, let me know. I have been out there, whoops. But I don't know when I'm going to get out there again. Fortunately, with my position now for work, I have set things up so I travel less. I make other people do the traveling. I put my work in with flying and traveling, and I'll let you guys in on something. I've had a few bad experiences. I've talked to Barry about this. I've had a few bad experiences flying. I used to do it a lot, and it was enough to put me at unease on planes. So when I can avoid it now, I do. If I have to, I will. But I like to let other people go do the traveling for me, and it's been nice. I love road trips. I'll drive. We drive to Florida. I mean, a 15, 16-hour drive for me is nothing. And in fact, I'm working on, once all this COVID stuff clears up, I'll be making a road trip to Alabama, and I'll cover that. Bill Gobble, who has been on here a few times, I'm working on some stuff with him, and I'm gonna make a trip down there. And who knows, maybe I'll try to set it up so I could swing into some of the states along the way and say hi to some of you guys. I don't know, we'll see. But road trips, I'm all for. I love driving. I will take driving over flying any day of the week. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much everything I have. Just wanted to look at a few more of these comments. Hey, Jeff, I have been up to Canada too. My wife and I actually went up there for spring break one year to Niagara Falls. That was beautiful. Man, these comments, viewing these comments, it's like, '66 Fastback, oh boy. Jeff Young, hi from Canada. I'm heading out to the farm to work on my '66 Fastback. Same color as yours. This is it silver blue, I think? Taking the drivetrain out, needs total restoration. I really do want a Fastback someday too. In fact, I've already looked, I've priced out those kits to do the conversion. Obviously, I need to get a little more experience under my belt, but I don't know that I'll ever get an actual Fastback. I'll probably more likely buy, I wouldn't be opposed to buying a straight six coupe and doing a Fastback conversion. And I really like the idea of putting one of the new EcoBoost, the Fords. Those things put out like the 2.3 EcoBoost. They're 4 cylinders, but they put out I think like 350 horsepower, if I'm remembering correctly. But they're lighter engines than these straight sixes, if I remember this correctly. So you could theoretically put that engine in this without having to upgrade a lot of the suspension stuff. Now, probably it would be a good idea to do so, but the idea of turning a coupe into a Fastback and then throwing a 4-cylinder EcoBoost in there, that's something I might want to tackle someday. But a lot of big things on the bucket list. We'll see what all I get to. But anyway, guys, I appreciate, it looks like we're up to 25, 16 thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm really enjoying these live chats. It's nice to, like I said, I've been real busy on putting out the 2 episodes a week and doing this this live chat, so I haven't had nearly as much time to answer comments and stuff like I used to. So at least the live chat gives me a little bit more time to say hi to you guys and answer some stuff. But I am going to try to get back into the comments here. There will be, like I said, an episode that goes up Monday. Well, it's a different video, and then there should be one going up about the wheelhouse and all this stuff on Tuesday. And then after that, with the holidays and everything, I don't know where we'll land. But so there should be 2 more videos coming. But if there isn't, I wish you guys all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I really appreciate you guys. I've said it a lot of times before, but I cannot express how grateful I am to have you guys tuning in, watching, showing your interest, and then lending a helping hand and advice. I would not have accomplished what I have accomplished if it weren't for you guys. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. And until the next episode, guys, stay driven.